Hi babes, it's your girl Tasia and welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can tell by the title, today we're going to be having a big sister talk slash girl talk, because you don't necessarily have to be younger than me to not know these things, but I've been through hell and back when it comes to relationships, or I guess situationships. And I wanted to do a video, sort of things I wish I knew, things I wish someone would have told me, just to ease the heartbreak just a little. But it's okay. If you're kicking it with a dude, and let's say y'all been talking, spending time with each other, going on dates, hanging out, you're meeting friends on the phone, falling asleep on the phone, and you ask him, hey, this has been cool, this has been fun, this has been great, but what are we? And he hits you with a,
we're just vibing, you already know what it is, we're in a situationship.
And those are not things that you want. You better run like your ass is on fire. You better run like them pantalones is on fire, okay? Because otherwise, what you're gonna be stuck in the trap of is, I'm good enough for you to pick me.
So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
And no, you're not, sweetie. Men do this thing where when they meet a girl, they put her in a category. Either she's just a smash and dash, either she's a kicking it chick, or either he wants to really date her. This is coming from men themselves, from the source. Those three categories. Billions of women, and that's the three categories y'all have. So if he's telling you, oh, we're just kicking it, or we're just chilling, or we're in a situationship, and you want a relationship, because a situationship is not a relationship, and that is not something that you want to do, you better run. Been running up that road, been running up that hill. You got to go. Do not hide any parts of yourself to keep that man satisfied. That includes your goofiness, okay? If you're silly, goofy, funny, wild, if you're the life of the party, just because you give the man, that don't mean that you have to shrink yourself down and be all reserved and quiet and shy. No, be yourself. Secondly, hobbies, things you enjoy. Do you know how many girls I've been seeing on TikTok saying that they've had to break up with their boyfriends because they got jealous of their K-pop bias? Now listen, I love a good Wattpad as much as the next person. And yes, there is a very real possibility that these K-pop idols could very well date a fan. But do you really think that's like a 1 in a million chance? What exactly are you getting jealous of Jungkook for? What? And even if they do have any type of interaction, it's going to be 2 seconds, it's going to be quick, it's going to be so many cameras and bodyguards. No connection is going to form. So what are you jealous of? Oh, no, the bar is in hell. The bar is in hell. Being overall happy. I one time had a guy tell me that I was smiling too much. Smiling too hard. I was showing him my pictures and he was like, why are you smiling so damn hard? And I was like, oh, I guess I should stop smiling in my picture. No! You have to be willing to communicate the good with the bad. I know a lot of people like me are very non-confrontational people, but there is a way to bring up the bad, just like there is a way to bring up the good. There's a way to sit down and be like, hey, this is something that's sort of been on my mind, or this is something that's been bothering me. And if you articulate that well, and they still overreact, that's a red flag, and you better be running up that road. Because But if you can only talk to them about good things, and the second you try to bring up bad things, or not even bad things, but things that can be improved upon, and it's going to be a fight, it's going to be an argument, it's going to be a headache, it's going to be all this unnecessary drama, baby, run, baby, run. No man should ever yell at you or put his hands on you, ever. I don't care. I don't care the circumstances. I don't care the situation. I don't care, oh, I made him mad. I don't care, oh, I said something he didn't like. I don't care. Never, ever should that voice be raised, and never, ever should that hand go back. And if it does, you better tell somebody, and you better get going, because that man will kill you. I am of the belief that if a man can raise his voice, he can raise his hand. And maybe that's, a bit extreme, but I've been hit. I've been physically picked up and thrown out of a room. It ain't fun, okay? And I don't want nobody else to get hit, yelled at, screamed at, I'm going to have my hand broken in front of a group of people. Yeah, I don't want anybody to experience those things just for simply being myself. Absolutely not. Do not ever let that man put his mother freaking hands on you. And if he does, and if he yells at you, you better find your brother, your dad, your uncle, I don't care. And you better tell. You better tell. And then go on sort of hand in hand. No means no. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you're in a situationship, even if you've been kicking it for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, if you say no, it means no. Just because you become in a relationship or just because you come in that talking stage doesn't mean that you automatically always have to tell them yes. If you're not feeling it, if you don't feel comfortable, if you're not in the mood and they happen to be, that God gave them 2 hands, you better get some lotion and get in that room. I don't know what to tell you, but absolutely not. If you say no and they take your no as a, well, you know, you're with me so you have to, that is not consent. If you say no and then they keep being like, well, just a tip, just a little bit, it won't even be that long, won't even be that bad, that is not a yes. No means no. Physical touch, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, and gift giving or receiving or giving, whichever one. Those are the 5 love languages. Of course, every love language has subcategories. But if you're a person who needs words of affirmation and you're dealing with a person who showers you with gifts, you're not going to connect because he's trying to physically show you and you need him to verbally show you. Or if you're the type of person that needs to spend time with your person and they're the type of person that wants to tell you how much they care about you but they don't really care to really spend time, you're not going to work. So you need to know what type of love language you have. My love language, my top 3 love languages consist of words of affirmation, physical touch, and quality time. If I don't have those 3, I don't like as the top 3. Of course, I think everybody encapsulates all 5 love languages, but I think my big 3 when it comes to that is those 3. And because if any situation I've been in when I've been missing one, I'm like, I don't really like you that much, but it's because you're not fulfilling my needs. So there's 4 types of communication styles. There's passive communication, which are people who avoid expressing their feelings, emotions, etc. There's aggressive communication, people who express their emotions, feelings, but they're hard about it. There's passive aggressive communication. That's when someone that's like, oh, I wish that somebody would clean up the house sometimes, or I wish I wasn't the only one that cooked dinner. There's undertones in what the person is saying. And then there's assertive communication, which is the most healthy communication style. It's when you directly but politely say what it is that you're thinking and feeling in a healthy manner. So, unfortunately, everybody likes to believe that they speak assertively, but they don't. Some people are passive, some people are passive aggressive, and some people are aggressive. And if you are a person who is an assertive, but you're dating a person who's a passive, y'all will always butt heads because you can't communicate correctly. And it's important to know your communication style because 1, it could be the defining factor that you don't need to be in a relationship because you don't know how to talk to people. But 2, it also gives you an insight into when someone is speaking to you. Sometimes you be like, why are you saying that to me like that? And they can't understand that it's rubbing you the wrong way. But people have different communication styles. So you have to know your communication style and you have to know the person you're dealing with communication style so that you guys can communicate to each other effectively. And then values. I feel like we lost the plot, but values don't come up when you're dating. Values come up when you're talking. You need to know, are you a monogamous person or are you a polyamorous person? You need to know, do you only like my gender or do you like other genders? You need to know, are you a sexually explicit type of person or are you more of an asexual type of person? These are all conversations that tie into your values because it shows you, like, if someone is monogamous and they're trying to be in a relationship with someone who is a polyamorous or non-monogamous mindseted person and that person cheats on them, only one person is going to get offended in that scenario. You know what I mean? And those are conversations that shouldn't be happening 6 months into dating. Those are conversations that should be happening when you're going on dates. Hey, do you believe in commitment? What does commitment look like to you? What does cheating look like to you? Those are very important questions to have. So all these things tie into one big thing of knowing what is it that you're looking to get from this relationship. What type of love language do you need? What type of communication style works best for you? What values are you willing to be like, okay, yeah, we can link on this, or okay, I'm okay with like you being like that and I being like that, because sometimes opposites truly do attract, but you need to be vocal about all these things so that you can have a beneficial relationship. I don't care, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I personally believe that both parties need to be healed when jumping into a relationship. And so that ties into this next one. Both parties need to be self-aware and emotionally mature, or otherwise the relationship's not gonna work. If you're the only self-aware person, if you're the only one that can peep, okay, how I said this led to a chain reaction of that, and now that's why we're fussing and fighting, or that's why there's so much aggression. So moving forward, I won't say things like this, I'll reword it like that. If you're the only person taking the time to actually do that and put in the work for that, your relationship is not going to thrive. If you're the only person that is like, whenever you get really angry and you're, instead of spewing it all out, you're like, let me take a deep breath, let me take a walk and come back and communicate. And the other person is just all over the place, just flipping out and punching holes in walls and stuff like that. Your relationship is not going to work. You both need to be self-aware. You both need to be emotionally mature. You both need to be willing to work on it. This has got to be the best advice my mom has ever given me. I was talking to her about one of my failed situationships or whatever, and I was like, this has to be why I keep getting hurt, because this guy was not treating me well. He wasn't taking me on dates. He wasn't making me feel respected in the slightest, and I was in the mindset of, I can convince you to care about me, and I didn't even know it. And my mom said very chilly, very calmly, the reason why you keep getting hurt is that you keep making compromises. Compromises are for married people. People who have stood before God and been like, I'm going to be with you for life. I'm being it to win it for you for life. When you're married, you ain't got no choice but to make those compromises. Y'all are stuck like Chuck. But when you're dating, you better raise them. I know they say the bar is in hell, but you better pick that bar up, put it on a pole, and put it to the ceiling, because your standards should be sky high. Now, I'm not saying that they have to check every single box. I'm just going to nip that in the bud. You're never going to find a man that's going to check every single box. But men are never going to find women that's going to check every single box. They're not ready for that conversation yet, and that's okay. But you can have a certain level of standards. I require men to date me. I require men to buy me flowers. I require men to spend time with me. I require them to be the breadwinner in the relationship. Because the type of values I uphold are more traditional. So I require a more traditional type of man. And, of course, with that comes nuance. But on paper, you're going to be buying and paying for dates. I'll do it sometimes, but majority of the time it's going to be you. You're going to be paying for flowers. You are going to be spending time with me outside of my house, outside of a bedroom. We will be spending time. We will be going to church. Like, those are important things. Those are things I'm not willing to compromise on. And until I'm not saying that you have to have your uncompromisables be the same as mine. But what I'm saying is you better have some. You better have some. Because otherwise you're going to be sitting there like, why am I always getting hurt? And it's because you're always switching it up to fit the man that's in your orbit at the time. When it needs to be consistent. And if the man that's in your orbit at the time can't get with it, he can get gone. You attract how you feel. So if you hate yourself, you're going to attract men that do nothing but degrade you. If you feel like people only use you for a sexual reason, you're going to attract men that only lust after you. If you feel like, also if you're in a dark place mentally, you are only going to attract dark place mentally people. So it's imperative that you heal first. And of course, there's never going to be a day when you wake up and you're like, I'm healed. You know what I'm saying? Well, it might. But, there's a lot of nuance to the things that I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you're fresh off a breakup, if you know you have things that you're struggling with that can be fixed and need to be settled on, if you know you've been wanting to get into therapy to look for better coping mechanisms, if you know you've been called toxic or whatever the case may be, if you're fully aware of these things and you're trying to push a healthy relationship, seek a healthy relationship, and then the healthy relationship doesn't come, it's because you yourself is not healthy. Even if the relationship came, your toxicity would make it unhealthy. So it's like, if you know you're in a position where you're not ready to date, because that was the issue with one of my past situationships. He was in a position where he knows he was not ready to date, met a person who was ready to date, and made her that man called me the female future. I won't say I was innocent, but I was fed up. And last, but it's oh so very important, if you don't have no title, stop acting like you do. If no one has not sat you down, wrote you a letter, gave you some flowers, decorated a hotel room, or whatever, gave you a promise, or whatever, however your relationship proposals look, and asked you to be your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, you are single. You don't have a man. Don't be getting that man tatted on you. Don't be getting that man's initials on your nails. Don't be paying for haircuts. Don't be paying for his weed. Don't be paying for his food. Don't pay for men. That's a slippery slope. But anyways, don't be doing girlfriend activities when you're just a chiller buddy, a hangout buddy, when you're just vibing, situationshipping it up. Okay, well, the situation is this. I take care of me, you take care of you. You know what I mean? We come together. If you're feeling generous, I'll accept it. But I ain't your girlfriend. And if you keep that mentality, you will not get hurt. Because so many girls out here are like, I can do it, like I can handle it, like the non-committal thing. And then they're out here acting like a girlfriend and they get hurt when the dude doesn't act like a boyfriend. You don't have a boyfriend. So it will save yourself so much heartache and so much pain to just be like, if you tell me this is what the situation is, this is what the situation is, nothing more, nothing less. And until there's a further conversation, that is how I'm operating. That is just a piece of the relationship advice that I wish somebody would have sat down and told me. If you guys would like a part 2 or more big sis / girl talks, let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, babes. Mwah.